Hello everyone, welcome to the reading today. So today we're going to do a reading around the eclipse and also the new moon. So what can you gain from this? What's coming in? What's coming through? What opportunities are coming up for you with this new moon and eclipse? So we'll start by picking 3 piles. Okay, 1, 2, I think we're going to go 4. Sorry about the shadow, I'm streaming pretty late today. Planned to do it earlier, just didn't come through. Okay. So these are mandalas, so we're going to have a look. So for pile number 1, this is your mandala. Okay. Pile number 2, here is your mandala. Pile number 3, here is your mandala. And for pile number 4, here is your mandala. Okay. So take your time, pick whichever one is calling out to you. Sorry about the shadow here. I'll just put it here so you can see a little bit longer. But what I'll do is I'll do the shuffling process next, so you can stick around for that. Otherwise, go to the description and you can jump straight to your reading today. Welcome to the shuffling portion of the video. So really interesting mandalas coming through. What I'll do is I'll read the meanings of each mandala, or mandala, I think they're pronounced. I'm probably just saying it really not right, let's say. But let's have a look at which cards you'll get for each pile. So really colourful ones in the middle and more subtle ones, let's say, on the outside. Get that out of there. Alright, so what is coming through for each pile? What do they need to know in regards to this new moon and eclipse? This one. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done a video in about a week and I really wanted to do something. It's just been busy or streaming on Twitch, all sorts of different things. So it's good to be able to get into a collective reading because it's nice to get something for everyone. And also, just so you know, I do shuffle all the cards with the intentions before I start recording, but I also do like to shuffle while we are here together. So I feel like the energy amplifies. I don't know, I'm assuming that happens for every collective reader on YouTube. But it's really cool. I like it. Okay. Now these ones may come through reversed and I'm going to keep it that way. So I feel like there's definitely a message with some that are reversed. Okay, new moon. I do feel like today these are going to be opportunities as well as messages. So these are opportunities, but they're not guaranteed. They have to have the effort, the work, the time put into each pile, let's say, each reading. thought I skipped one. Okay, and let's get the tarot cards. So what is coming through this eclipse, full moon? Ooh, season. Running out of space. All right. And last pile, what is coming through for everyone on each pile this full moon and eclipse season? Okay, these two are going together. Oh, these two too. All right. Okay, so that concludes the shuffling process. As mentioned before, you can check below in the description for each pile. And you can jump straight to your video. But thank you for being here, sharing your energy as well, and also getting a reading today, because it's always nice to connect with everyone. Kind of interesting doing collective readings as well, when you don't know necessarily who's or what kind of energy is going to come through. I only allow, positive light energy through, but that doesn't mean the messages aren't always can be a little revealing or forthcoming. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So this is the mandala you have chosen, or mandala. It is number 29. So I'm going to read this one to you. I kind of wanted to keep it, I guess, under wraps a little bit of what this particular mandala stood for in the book. But I'm going to read from here. So this is the deck that I'm using, the Dimensions of Light. Okay. So the message on this card is Helping Hand from the Universe. And I'll read you the description. What a human can accomplish through one's efforts can be extraordinary. However, when embarking on a spiritual path, there will be times when what is necessary for fulfillment is more than one person can accomplish through willpower alone. Certain situations require spiritual intervention to set events right. When you recognize such a need for grace in your life and the world, your prayers and yearnings can be a catalyst for spiritual alchemy, triggering a series of uplifting twists that could not have otherwise occurred. Spirit is very powerful, but it cannot intervene for the betterment of our affairs unless we use our free will to invite it to do so. Let your willpower be supplemented by the spiritual workings of a greater intelligence at play. Ask for divine blessings and assistance for the greater good. Spirit wants something beautiful to happen for you and for all. It's a really nice message coming through pile number 1. Helping hand from the universe, which is what I was saying at the beginning of the readings and in the shuffle. This is going to be an opportunity but opportunities are there to be taken, and it's for you to choose. And it's for you to choose if it's right or not. The universe is going to come through with this opportunity during or even after the new moon and the eclipse. Okay, so we'll leave this up here. Really, really nice. Something more, it feels more deeper. It's like just the beginning, but it's deep. Okay. Okay. You have Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Really nice, and it lines up perfectly with the new moon. New information, this is bringing in the new, end of a cycle, releasing the old. It does show that there's definitely an opportunity. It's feeling like an opportunity to come through. Regardless, it's going to be a change. And changes are great, right? Sometimes we really want to change or shift up, but also they can be scary because it leads to unknowns. But if it's, as like a gift or a present or an opportunity from the universe, just take it with whatever you want. So if it feels right, trust your intuition. If it feels right, then embrace that opportunity. Take up the calling, let's say. Okay. You have power. Yeah, this is talking about energetic shift. This is a powerful energetic shift. This is big. Could be a big change. Not a bad one. Something to rock the world, let's say, rock your world. But it's also not just for you. It feels like this is for everyone. Everyone involved in your sphere, but also maybe for the collective as well. You also have animal totems. Now this is reversed. It does touch on animal energy and powers. When it's reversed, I'll have a quick look, but it does feel like this is more notice of what's happening. It's almost like an understanding. It's like, hang on, why are we doing this? I've kind of just let this slide for such a long time. So it could be anything. It could be like just watching the world and thinking, why is this happening here? Why is this happening there? This is, there's so many opportunities to correct or heal or fix, let's say, certain aspects. And that could come all the way down to aspects in your life, aspects in your family, your relationships, many different aspects that might shed some light. So the shift might open your eyes to certain things that you've kind of just not really ignored, but just didn't pick up for whatever reason. We'll have a look as they go through, but I'll have a look at this, and that's just how that's just how the animal totems is feeling. It's also like raw, instinctual, back to basics, kind of like, we're here, but what's true from like your core. Okay. You have insight on the light attribute and unaware. I feel like this is interesting because it does feel like this flip. Yeah. From the it's not like you were ignoring the situation around you. It just didn't really switch the light bulb in your mind on, and now it is. Like you're seeing it, you're hearing it, and this like energy starting to move around you. It almost looks like gills, but it feels like fire, passion. Yeah, this new information is definitely big. It's powerful. This new moon is going to be quite big for you, Pineapple, and it's like a huge shift. Okay. Huge opportunity. So you've also got Midas and Miser. The light attribute is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delights in sharing life's riches. Really great. It's not just showing that this information is for nothing, or for like just for everyone else, let's say. There's like a touch on you and also the collective, both. There has to be a flow of like give and take, but it feels like you can start creating or making the changes. It can be as small as like something within your own person, like in your own body, let's say, thoughts and feelings, to your family, to maybe even your work environment, or even if you're a run an organization or something like that, something bigger. Could be anything. The shadow attribute is hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. I don't think you'll have any worries about that. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a shift for you. You may not have even... Some of you, I feel like this is a slow burn, like it's been getting to this point where this is like a big click. This, for some, it might be a quick shift. It doesn't feel like there's much of a middle ground. It's like a slow burn to get here. Like you've been in spirituality or something like that for a very long time because you've picked the spiritual, like the universe assistance, helping hand, bringing something in for you. I really can't see it, and it's really interesting because I want to. But I'll just keep reading. All right, so we'll have a look at your tarot cards. Okay, so you've got the Four of Wands. Very nice. You have the Seven of Swords. This could be even how we treat the earth in some sense, or how we deal with, you know, the wildlife, maybe the environment, maybe something like that. Just with this, it's like a switch. It's like a change, even though you might even be changing how you perceive how we leave our, what do they call it? Sometimes carbon footprint might be something that you're looking into, or maybe you have, and now there's like, you're seeing what other people in the world are doing and like want to be involved in that, or create your own kind of opportunity. I don't know, it feels really big, but this shift isn't a joke. Like the totem, the animal totems feel really strong. Right under power, it's like a big, something changing with these codes. These like this information. When I say information, it's like either like a letter or a notification, or just like you're becoming aware of more than what you did in the past. But it even could be through like even dream time information coming through your dreams. We'll see. Have the Tower. Yeah, this is a big shift. Doesn't feel like a you know, quote unquote bad tower. This feels like a positive change. Because it's almost like getting out of like this existence, not exactly existence, like you're not leaving, but it's more like this old ways of being. Like it could be traditional ways of believing things, or being stuck in like a certain what am I trying to say? Like not rotation, but it's like, you know, working 9 to 5 and just doing that, and you know, just living, I guess, but not really experiencing, if that makes sense. It's really hard to explain, but it does feel like a good tower, especially below here. It's like success. It's like awakening, understanding, and then like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I can do to bring in this fulfillment. This feels like fulfillment, not just money. Midas is that Midas touch, and that does feel true. It's like an understanding of your own abilities, let's say, or your own inner strength. Okay, very nice. And you got the Sun card. That's what I was saying. This tower does not feel like it's a bad tower. It's a tower that is important. Maybe you're opening up a little bit more to other people as well. Whereas in the past you were, you know, shied away, or you understand that the people you were around, maybe it's not, they might not be bad, right? It's kind of like if you're a stock chain, what do you call it? Stock, I can't remember what they're called, but like trader, trading stocks and stuff, and you have a lot of friends that do the same sort of thing. And I'm not trying to rag on that kind of thing, but it's just, you know, there's certain mentality with that, because it's like win-loss kind of thing, instead of like what is actually important. And I think there's some kind of awakening or understanding with that for you, pile number 1. And maybe you already have started to notice this anyway, and this is just confirmation that yes, you are seeing the truth, like you're uncovering this. This might actually also be bigger than just you specifically. Like, yes, this is a reading for you, but this might even be something coming to light that was dodgy in the government, because it does feel really big. Like it's a change in power, and we're coming back to our core, let's say. I'm going to read this card. I'll just see what it says. So this is interesting. It kind of touches on what I thought. It's like core instincts of like animal representation, let's say. So, you know, if you identify with how a dolphin lives or something like that, then you find like the light attributes of like a dolphin, which is the happiness, family, pod, kind of like freedom in a way, or, you know, any other animal. But it says here you can reach out to animals about an issue you're confronting or characteristic you need to cultivate. So it is about understanding. It could be even not necessarily an animal. It could be like a person. Like what attributes of a person that you know, don't know, you see on TV, etc., that you want to embody. It's like, I want that core value. I want this. I want this kind of, I want that something similar to this. Not exactly their lives, but I want to embody that courage, that standing up for your rights, beliefs. It's really like a breakthrough, it does feel like. Okay, and right at the end it says here, let yourself relax and sense the animal that comes. Ask to share its helpful energy and take some time to feel its special vibrations, filling you up and giving you strength. Animal totems are real spiritual helpers, so meditate on all animals that call to your heart. Open you up to the power, courage, and gentle spirit messages they bring. Okay, so really, really, really nice with this energy. Also like helping hand from the universe. It's like, are they sending you your spirit guides, your animal guides, if you believe in that? Are they coming through? Is it your spirit animal? There's like messages from the universe, messages from the earth as well, like the natural beings that are here to share the earth with us. I feel like there's a lot. This insight being the center does feel like for you, there is some insight. There's some messages coming through that are going to help you generate more equilibrium with regards to, you know, potentially abundance or prosperity, but also within your inner world, your emotions, your thoughts, feelings, that kind of thing. It's an opportunity here during this new moon. This new moon must be really big. An eclipse, of course, which is big, right? This is a rare occurrence. Not always happening, but here we are. And this is like a huge amount of energy, so I feel like it'll be a shock. Like you'll start to see these things or understand. It's like understanding like how wild the world is. You might already see that anyway, because it's pretty easy to see that. But also just see how you can maybe shift something that you do in your life. There's some opportunity here which will get you to, I feel like, a spiritual milestone. This feels spiritual. But also understand the people that are around you, what needs to shift, what needs to be torn down, and what's going to bring you light and happiness in your life with the Sun card. But I do feel like there's also just on the side, there's a message of exposing, this light has been exposing on corruption, potentially. If it is in your life, it's like someone not being honest. If it's in like a bigger sense at work, someone not doing the right thing. And if it's in like a country, it's like corruption within governments or something like that. It's just very specific, let's say. Hopefully not, right? But if it's being brought to light, that's better than it being stuck in the shadows and the shady things happening in the background. I don't know if anything will change necessarily, but if it's being exposed, then that's catalyst for people to start stepping into their power, into their rights of what they want to do and how they want to shift and change, what rules and regulations and impact them, and what rules and regulations need to be in place for certain governments and that kind of thing. I'm trying to not make this too political, but it just feels bigger than our own selves, which is why the universe is stepping in to assist with this and with your message today. So it is, while it is about you as well, it's also got a big broader message. Maybe something will come up. I'm not sure. We'll have to check the news after the eclipse. May take some time, but we'll see what comes up. Very interesting. But that's exactly what I see for you, pile number one. Hope this has helped you. I just want to wish you a happy new moon and enjoy. And also, if you get to see the eclipse, hopefully that looks really nice. So anyway, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. So you've chosen this very, very pretty mandala. So this is I'll have a look actually what the book says about this one. So this is number 10. Just put that there. All right. Oh, okay. So you've chosen the one that represents happiness. Very nice. So I'm going to read this to you. Learning to feel joy in our hearts without needing to have a particular reason for it, other than, say, the extraordinary experience of aliveness, is the beginning of access to authentic spiritual empowerment. Our universe loves the unreasonable dreamers, optimists and healers, so much that it will unconditionally support such crazy love wisdom bearers, which is a blessing for all. At times, darker feelings will be part of our soul healing journey, for us as individuals and in our collective. It requires a strong and compassionate will to honor all that you feel without denying the potential wisdom of darker emotions and deciding to gently but firmly bring yourself back into communion with that sacred well of peace and delight within. Be real, but also remember, you are of the light. Very nice. Okay, just going to move this. Sorry about the noise. Alright, so let's have a look at your reading. So here are your oracle cards. You have Emerald Tablet Activation, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. Really interesting. What are you manifesting? What do you want to bring in? What does this new moon eclipse mean for you? There's an opportunity here to get what you're really going for, I feel. This divine alchemy, it's got to be a mixture of your mind, the collective conscious, I guess, is kind of where it's coming from. What brings you happiness? What's going to be bringing happiness for you and for everyone involved? And merging that together with, you know, the natural flow of the universe. It's like you can't just create, this is just how it's coming through. I mean, you can do what you want, but it's like, it feels like you can't just create something without it impacting others. So when you have like blessings for all involved, then it just feels like it's universally happiness coming through, manifesting what really feels like great abundance or great things for all. Really interesting. Also, the Emerald Tablet, I did read about it, or I watched a YouTube clip of like an esoteric kind of someone who studies esoterica, I think they're called. And it just touched on many different things and like the limited information that's out there, but then there's so many other beliefs and kind of channels and that kind of thing. So it's very open and there's not a lot, but it's, regardless, it's still being talked about, and right here it's in a card. So there's something to it. Do I know? Absolutely not. But hopefully you'll find out one day. Also, I have inner peace. I love this. Happiness and inner peace. It's like really understand what brings happiness. Because when we're kids, what brings us happiness? Well, I can only speak for myself. Lollies. But then when you get older and you eat a whole bag of lollies, you feel sick. So it's not actually what brings you happiness. Sometimes it does, right? But, you know, things shift and change. And so it's like, before it might have been, you know, if I had this much money, I would be happy. But maybe it's something else. Like it changes as we get older, or, you know, certain events happen in our lives that can cause different outcomes. You also have Journey Guide. Travel, change, and location. Interesting. I like that it's 22. This feels like a, you know, inner peace. It's like an inner world change. An inner shift. Because this conscious manifesting does feel it's like it's, you are putting in the effort with your subconscious. it's almost like I'm going to program myself to say certain things throughout the day, like maybe love or whatever, and that means to bring in happiness, not just for me, for the universe or for the world, whatever. It does feel very chill vibes. Also, I do like this travel guide because it does feel like some slower moving shifts. Like you might be moving, you might go on holiday, you might go on an event, like a day trip, something like that. There's some sort of travel involved in here as an opportunity, and if it's what you're asking for, that's going to bring inner peace, like happiness, this tranquility, let's say, then move towards that. I feel like keep doing that, keep manifesting what you want. Okay, so on the shadow attribute, you've got misunderstand, and the light attribute is perceptive. I feel like this is really about understanding who, because this water element here next to this kind of water, like this is I believe this is salt water or fresh water. I think, no, this is fresh water. Yeah, this is fresh water. Along with this kind of freshwater koi, I want to say, they look like koi. Kind of feels like, where's your energy? Where is your, you wanted this inner peace? Where is your energy at? Do you need to go on a trip? Do you need some time away or just an escape, like a mini escape? It's not like escapism, it's more like just a brief kind of chill out from even all of this, right? All of the extra stuff that we do. Maybe this is going to bring in a more smoother, calmer, flowy future for you in regards to your spiritual journey, your home life potentially, or work life balance. I feel like they talk about that at work, but it's not really, it's not dove. No one dives into it deep enough. And I think it's like the real meaning of work-life balance or home life balance or giving and taking balance, like lots of different things. And so be very clear with what your intentions are. Don't leave it super open. It has to be very specific, I feel. Very direct, very firm, very clear. Okay, visionary. Yeah, you have a lot of interesting energy with these cards. So visionary, the light attribute is capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. It's like kind of like ahead of your time. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard of personal gain. The shadow attribute is selling insight to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Yeah, with here, don't compromise. Like these two shadow attributes, it's like don't compromise what you feel you deserve, what you want to create, and what you want to see. It's like if you're saying it and you want to bring it in, then live that. Like live that truth. Live that truth. Because you do have a lot of insight of what brings, I guess, what you can create in the world. There's more, I feel like even more than you know. But you have to let that energy flow through you, especially during this eclipse, this new moon. Bring in all that you want. Be specific, be clear, and do it consciously in regards to like make sure that everyone is involved. It's like wanting money, but for whatever reason, it might be wanting money, but you want it in a way that is respectful to everyone that's involved, right? That's just how it's feeling. We'll have a look at your cards as well, your tarot cards. So you have the Ace of Pentacles. Nice. So it does feel like, it's not all about money, but it does feel like there's a beginning of something, a new path, which is like more about peace and happiness, and love feels involved here too, like love. But it's also, to prosperity. It's not a bad thing to want income and you want security, especially when it comes to finances and health and, everything. I feel like there's more to be had. You have the Emperor. Show you that. This is like an offer. This is definitely an offer from the universe. This feels like universe walrus energy. It's like, here is this opportunity. You already have the skills, the ability. You can use those, activate them, you know, now even. But during this time, it's like more time to meditate and understand what exactly you really need or feel is important to you. Six of Discs, give and take, flow of energy. Maybe you want to start doing charity. Maybe that's going to bring you this interest. But I do feel like there's more here. This visionary, not just with this travel guide. I think this is just like an extra bonus, which is great, right? But also here, it's like this shift in, oh, I've thought about this. Why can't? Why isn't anyone else? Don't leave it up to them. Start bringing that in. You can start using that energy in your home and then grow it out. That's how it feels. I don't know what it is, but it's, you know, you're the visionary, not me. All right, and Ace of Cups. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This love energy, these flowers, is blooming. There's a lot of shifts that are going to change with this new moon and eclipse. That's going to bring, you know, new paths. This is very cute too. This is like this new feeling, new beginning. It's going to bring stability. While this is an offer from the universe, it's like, feels like it's going to be stability, structure, not firm structure that doesn't have give and take, but like very, just very good strength, like strong boundaries, strong, clear cut boundaries. But there's also this very soft side of like a gift. It's already a gift I feel like you have. It's like activating it, but it's going to be that give and take as well. Like this, whatever you're manifesting during the full moon, the new moon and the eclipse, ensure that it's fair to everyone. I know I've said it enough probably in your reading, but that's how you can get real true inner peace. Might mean giving or taking, you know, seeing where the balance lies. Where are you giving too much? Where are you taking too much? You know, what is real balance? How do you adjust that? Maybe it's very simple. Maybe it's a little bit more complicated. But you know what to do. I feel like with the visionary, you already know. You understand where you've been misunderstood or you've misunderstood what like the messages you're trying to put out there or trying to get. Really understanding that and understanding where your energy is at too is really important. It's like, is your energy with you? Do you need to reclaim that energy back? Do you need to stand into your emperor power and claim it back? It's like, it doesn't mean you go hurt someone or like tell someone never going to work with you or whatever again, you know, that kind of thing. It's more like, I'm claiming back this power. This is not for me, you know, respectfully. I feel like you can do this easily and respectfully, more smooth to bring that, smoothness. I don't know if you've done a lot of this, like a lot of give. Some of you, I feel like you've given so much that you haven't started taking and you're kind of blocking that energy, natural energy flow because you're like, no, I don't need this. But I feel like that's blocking the other person or the other party from their getting what they feel like they need back, like that flow. There's a block potentially there, which is going to be not there for long. Maybe another day or two after the eclipse, but not for long. And that's exactly what I see for you today, power number 2. So thank you very much for being here today. Hopefully you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed reading this. I really hope whatever you're manifesting is exactly what you feel you want to bring in, because you are the visionary. You know what you want. If it's travel. If it's like a give and take, a change of the tip of the scales to bring it back in balance, do that. Do it in a way that brings you peace, happiness, joy, and, you know, go on this new path. I feel like this definitely is a new path for you, but one that's so much more relaxed and smooth. You know, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 3. So you have chosen this very, very cool mandala. Really interesting too, because it's showing the cycles of the moon, right? And we're coming into a new moon and also an eclipse. So there's just a lot here with this, double triangle as well. 6-point triangle. All right. So I'm going to read you what this mandala means. I have to check the number 49. Okay. So the main message here is heart opening, and I'll read this to you. Purification often happens when the heart is opening and awakening to a new level of expansive presence. Purification may involve a temporary revisiting of old wounds. As the heart outgrows the old ways, those stuck energies are flushed out of the body, mind, and soul. This doesn't necessarily feel good at the time. Like any detoxification, it can be uncomfortable before it gets better. That's putting it nicely. It might feel like a nightmare. Purification happens because you are capable of going through it and transforming positively through the process. Once the drama of your past wounds start to clear and settle, your heart will have an increased spaciousness, a capacity for blissful love, and a powerful presence. When it happens, stay with it. You are not regressing. You are healing. Your heart knows what it is doing. Trust in deeper wisdom guiding your path. Really interesting. So this is touching on, like, this is a cycle of the moon. This may be a cycle that you've been not necessarily stuck in, but are needing to break out of. I do feel like there's a lot of healing, especially when it comes to heart. So it can be romance, but it can also be like family, love of people, friends, family, maybe even animals as well. Like you care for, the world, nature, that kind of thing. It does feel very soft and pure, I want to say. Okay, so we've got a few more tarot today. We'll see if they fit. Okay, so you've got third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, and clear seeing. Yeah, this is going to be a really good opportunity that's coming through with this new moon and eclipse. Stillness, something that's been stuck for a long time. I feel like this is like freezing over. It's like this heart opening is going to be, I feel like this is definitely it. It's like something like this heart healing, you want to say. It's going to bring up some old stuff, but it's stuff that needs to come through. It needs to open up, come out, so that it can start healing. Okay. And like I said, this is an opportunity. You do what feels right to you, of course. Okay, you've got shamanic healer, cleansing and attunement. Yeah, this is going to bring you into alignment. Like if you want to talk about chakras, like chakra alignment. If you want to talk about healing alignment. This third eye activation, it's like really showing you exactly what this is about. So while you're doing whatever you're doing, you're like manifesting or whatever you're doing during the new moon and the eclipse, you're going to be able to see exactly what you need to do to get out of whatever was stuck, whether it was something like an old relationship or a tough time with a family member that's going to come to light. How you do that is completely up to you, whether that's only doing it internally or only externally or both. A lot of the time internally is, for me personally, is like an easier flow. Not easy, definitely 100% not easy, but sometimes when you add in an external person, their wounds and stuff can come up too, and they can react out of, fear or anger or whatever. Okay, inspired. I do like this. Feels like support. It really does feel like support from your guides, from your team, also from everyone, like the collective. Up here it says unimaginative in the shadow, but I don't think that's part of this. It's more this. This is going to be uplifting. It's going to be challenging, but uplifting. All right, and you also have the Destroyer. Ooh, this is really strong energy. Something that was stuck and it's like bursting out now. So it's like going from this to this. Especially if you can see it, right? If you're starting to conceptualize how to move through this, but also what exactly happened or what's happening. This is a huge healing opportunity. But the Destroyer isn't bad. It's kind of like a Tower card in a sense. Breaking down the old to rebuild that aspect of you, that part of you, that heart that should be on display and shining. So the light attribute of Destroyer is releasing what is potentially destructive. Yes, that's very true. Preparing for a new life. I love that. Because also we need these volcanoes, right? They come up, they create land. Like that's why we have Hawaii and other islands around the Pacific as well. Not all of them, but you know, some of them, certain parts of them are created from volcanic. So like an explosion, like something destructive technically, but also creates new life and new opportunities and it fertilizes the land as well. The shadow attribute is intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. Also, if this is someone in your life, if they sound like this, if that's what this is about, this healing's about, they don't need to have control over you in some sense anymore. And whether if they're physically there, then do what you need to do, which is right for you. But if they're not, and then out of your life, and you no longer kind of interact with them, then don't give the power away. This is about understanding that. Working with people that can support you, and also your team, I feel like, are really standing behind you. Look, they're watching this eagle, because this eagle goes up and can see exactly what's going to happen. It's like it knows what's happened in the past, it knows what's happening now, and in between, and it knows where there's a possibility which is the right path to move in the future. Like they can see the road to that, where you want to be. Okay, let's have a look at these cards. I'm going to start with these two first. So you have the Strength card, really nice. I like the Strength card because she's like this, I say she, but this sheep is just very soft. But just because you're soft and fluffy and gentle doesn't mean you don't have a power of like a warrior within. She needs to come out. She needs to come out to deal with this. Okay. You also have the King of Swords. Usually very logical, but I feel like it's touching him with these birds. So many birds. Like this higher understanding, trusting in the higher forces, letting their knowledge, I guess, come through. I mean, you're starting to see it. This is definitely opening up. It's also like a gateway to a new space, a new dawn, preparing for a new life for you. I really like this. I hope this is resonating because it sounds great. But yeah, the King of Swords is like focused, logical. There's also, if it's part of the Destroyer, it can be very, structured, I want to say. Very specific, like this is how we do things. And you're starting to break away from that and stand in your own strength. Okay, very interesting. So, this should be upright. So you've got the Princess of Swords. I do like this because she feels very determined. Not in like an old-fashioned way, but just in this new energy. You also have the Prince of Discs. Starting to make that move. There's like understanding it, conceptualizing, I want to say, trusting in the higher forces, and getting exactly what you deserve. So this is a big change, something that's going to shift in your world. Something that can be part of healing. I want to say for a majority, this is about healing. It may take many more months, many more cycles, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. If it's going to bring, like I feel like each little step, even each day, it's going to bring more and more strength, like more power into you, for you, I want to say. But it's all about the dream, the wish, the Nine of Cups. Getting that fulfillment in some way. Whether that's just peace of mind, calm, like this growing as a group, growing as like you and your higher self, you and your team, you and the people around you as well, working together, give and take, good flow energy. Will it be easy? Maybe not. Maybe not all the steps away will be easy, but will it be worth it? Absolutely. Feels like new you energy. This prince feels like taking it, moving forward, like making action, taking the time to understand it though. Understand how you're going to do this, because it's going to be specific for all of you. Some of you already know. Some of you need to have a think about it, meditate on it. What do you want to bring in? How do you want to bring it in? What do you want to release? How do you want to release it? Because something needs to be released so something new can come through. But you're going to start envisioning it and seeing that, I feel, with this third eye activation, because it's not like a full open where you're going to see everything. It's more like an activation to see what you need to see. To bring in this new energy, So it feels like whatever was like, because you know the volcano kind of lays a whole lot of lava and then it kills a lot of stuff. Like it's there, but it clears the way for new life to come through. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Well, this can be a potential opportunity for you. It's like clearing away the old so the new can start growing, fresh new shoots, new life. That's exactly what I see for you today, part number 3. Really interesting, especially with this princess. I feel like this is just you determined, clear, knowing what you want, and just take your time, be thoughtful, but also enjoy it. Enjoy this blessing that's coming to you in the new moon eclipse season. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Thank you for letting me read this lovely message of healing and journeying, I guess, with the shamanic healer, like the journey to healing or just into alignment or peace, right? But I will see you in the next reading. Take care of yourself. Hello, part number 4. So here is your mandala. Very cool. Kind of reminds me of like a contact lens, like a colored contact lens. All right, so let's have a look. This is number 23. My brain sometimes flips the numbers around. All right, so 23. So the message here is, life is wild and wise. Okay, very interesting. Let's take a read of the message on this mandala. There are times when an inner compulsion to do something erupts from within. You may not know exactly what you are meant to do, but until you act, a part of you simply cannot rest. Be with the tension of knowing there is action for you to take and the lack of clarity around what that action might be. As you sit quietly in the place of inner tension, ask the universe to show you the way of wisdom. You will sense what and when it is needed. Eventually, you'll be taking a step instinctively and most likely only realizing that you are doing so while you are in the process. That's how natural and in the moment your actions will be. Trust in the wisdom of life and your capacity to be in alignment with it. Really interesting. It does feel like you're going to start doing things almost subconsciously in your conscience, like in your waking days. Something's going to shift that it's like a change. It's almost like getting into a habit of going to the gym or something like that. And it just becomes natural after a while because it's like a shift of like old beliefs going out and something new coming in, and it just becomes natural. It's like a shock at first and then something natural. So really interesting mandala to come through. Okay, let's take a look at your cards. You have Soul Star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Really strong energy with this card as well. It's like, remember, like especially with this, because it's talking about the old or something new coming in. But I feel like that's what it is. It's like something, remembering who you are. It's like something activating within you that was always there, but has kind of been pushed to the side or just turned off, switched off for now. This new moon, this new moon and eclipse feels like it's going to activate this, something that's already within you. Really interesting. Okay. Nice, you have happiness. Yeah, this is what it's all about. It's not about ego or anything wild. It's about enjoyment, peace, happiness. Okay, you also have attachments, longing and desperation. This feels like an opportunity to get out of some stuck energy. What's not bringing you happiness? What is in the way of your happiness? Because as you see here, she's kind of reaching for something, but it's every time she moves and wiggles, she's getting stuck. All she has to do is release this old thing, and then she's out of the web. That's how it feels. It's like she's reaching, like, see all these gems? She's wanting this. Even the moon's here. It's like this new moon's kind of like, release the old dreams. Understand maybe parts of them or all of them are still valid, but what is really going to bring you happiness? What's really going to bring you happiness? Like real happiness. That's what I want to say. Real happiness. Okay. You also have suppressed. So interesting right here with the longing and desperation, the stuck energy. And then you've got awakening. Yeah, you're going to understand exactly what is going to bring you what you're looking for. That's how it feels, what you're really looking for. This awakening is going to happen. It's going to take you out of this kind of going with emotions energy. It's kind of like those, I'm thinking of Mario when there's like those fire things on the pole and they just spin around and around and around and around. They're just doing the same thing over and over, and the Mario times it to jump over it, but it's just going like it does nothing else. And I feel like that's what's going to change for you. It's more of like this opening up. Interesting. Remembering who you are. Okay, really cool. Getting out of here. All right. You also have scribe. Really interesting. Preserving knowledge and information. Shadow. Altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. I feel like with this scribe, she's taking note. Happiness doesn't just like switch on like that. Take note of what's working, what works for you. Really understand it. Maybe you're starting to jot down a journal or go back over your journals, or if you've written them down, or even dreams. What did you want to do in the past that can come back? What did you want to do in the past that you now no longer really want to work towards? Or because it's not relevant, or it's changed, or something in the world's shifted that it's not for you anymore. It's really understanding that. I feel like your old journals or old records may be interesting, and if you don't have any, start writing down what you want. Even if it's just small and you burn it during the full moon and release it. It's like, this is what I want to bring into my life, which is going to bring happiness to me and, you know, everyone around me. It's going to help me get out of this energy and release it. Maybe have a vision board. Okay. Let's have a look at I'm just going to use these ones first. So you have the Full card. And you have the Six of Cups. There's a lot of nostalgia here coming through, because this is like, reminds me of old records, old information. This is talking about remembering who you are, stuff from the past. Maybe it kept you stuck. Maybe it still does. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, congratulations. If it does, look out for this energy of the new moon, because things are starting to shift. Maybe they're going to shift in a way that it's like, this one's interesting, because it's like, for some of you, I feel like the world's going to shift in some way and you're going to be like shocked, but then it's just going to be normal for you. I feel like that's just going to be like, what is happening? And then you're just going to be like, oh, okay, no, this is the way. It's kind of like with COVID. Things shut down. It's like, oh, well, that's shocking, but I'm still working. I can still get this X, Y, Z. Let's just keep going, kind of thing. I feel like it's going to be almost like that for some of you. But for others, it's going to be an awakening of something very old coming back. Like something old for something new. Okay. You also have the Prince of Swords. Really cool. This is like starting to make that shift with these two. It's like leap of faith, but it's not really a risk. It doesn't feel like a real risk. It feels like smart movement. And you have the Chariot. Really cool too. It's like you're protected while you're moving quickly. It's like you're also part of the chariot as well. It's like this movement's fast because you know that this little charioteer kind of thing is pulled by these looks like your guides maybe, or like these pixies. I'm not sure. Colored, multicolored fairies, let's say, something like that. But look at this chariot. It's like very defensive, very protected, and it's about maintaining control. This card, for some reason, almost talks like war as well. For whatever reason, take what resonates. But there was something in the past that was like, almost felt like a war, or like a tough time with someone, or a tough time for you. Maybe you were in like a battlefield. I'm not too sure. It's really interesting. It's something that it's really old, and I feel like that's starting to melt away, and your defenses are starting to break away, but for a good reason, so that you can start moving into what you want. Instead of reaching for something that's no longer part of your purpose or design, getting something else that you really want, bringing in that energy. So this new moon is really something new and feels very quick. It's like still moving, still protecting, but slowly that feeling of needing to be too safe, like too guarded, is going to start breaking down, I feel. For the best. It's like the records are going to start changing with this. Write your truth as well. When you're bringing in the new stuff, like I do feel like write it all down. You know, there's different ways of doing it. Do what you feel right, but I feel like I just want to mention, write it all down. Look at it, repeat it, however you kind of go through your own ritual, and then potentially burn it or release it in some sense. Or even just record it, because it doesn't have to be burned. It's got to be released in whatever way is correct to you. So you can record it and keep it for next time when you want to review it or see what you did 6 years ago. Like, you know, 6 years in the future, looking back. It's like, what was I looking for? Oh, okay, you know, whatever. But I do like this remembering who you are at a soul level. It also feels like a gateway for your manifestations to a clear channel from you as a person to you as like a soul. Okay, very interesting. That is really all I can see. If it's all about happiness, then it's like a win, right? That's really where this is coming from. You're not moving stuff around in your past and rearranging your dreams for any other reason than to bring in true happiness for yourself and, you know, for everyone involved in your life. But anyway, that's exactly what I see. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for being here. Take care of yourself. Enjoy this new moon and eclipse, and I will see you in the next reading.